All right. You can hear me? Can't you? Hello, 1, 2, 3. Hello, how's this guy doing? Oh my God. This guy is so, ooh, when you swallow, it makes these VU meters go crazy. Yeah, well, here we are, April 14th. So I got a little cocktail over here. I mean, it's Coke from Publix. Well, it looks like a cocktail. There's some ice moving around. Put that right there so it doesn't take up a lot of course, look at it there. This is my Smart 50 popcorn with sea salt. How exciting is that? And this little doodad is doing a good job. It's hard to. I need to get something with a mirror. Marilyn's got something over there, so I can put this. This little guy has to be the right way. It's the lapel mic, and it works pretty good. There we go. Yeah, this thing is like, oh my God. It is so capable. Hey, we gotta pull this out just a little bit. I can do it. There it goes. Now up a little bit. This thing is so beautiful. We gotta get it in the shot. This thing has to get out of the way. Oh, it's just knocked my phone off. Oh, my lordy. Okay, so it's there we go, it's the 14th of April, it's Thursday, 1:07 p.m. There we go. So we get the full view of Jimmy. We've got this up just a tad, there we go. We don't want it blocking my MacBook Pro, which I just set the fans to 4750. I can set the fan speed 4,750 RPM. Can you imagine that these things have gotten so functional, operational? And here, so now I can put this up on this screen. Let's do it. Right there, bingo. So you can see it better. Bingo, touch that. And then I need to hit number 8, control 8. See, now you can see it right there on your screen. How about that? Pretty cool, huh? I got it on here. I don't need to have it on here. We'll put this on. This one. So I can keep up with the news. It's such a newsy world we live in. So they're basically saying here that you remember Sony used to have a camera. See, this camera in here is skinny. The lens is here and the imager is here. I mean, it can't be 5 millimeters apart, right? I mean, literally. So what the plan is, these touch screens are dangerous. Let's turn it off. turn the screen on. So what the plan is to put a periscope lens in here, inside this way. Here's the lens. And then when you get to here, you put a prism. The light comes down here, hits a prism, whoosh, and shoots the light this way to this tube with the imager back here, facing this way. And then electronics with the zooming will control a periscope inside this way. I mean, that's the plan. Assuming they're going to use. Now, you know, Sony had that patented 30 years ago. Well, the patent ran out 10 years ago. Patent only goes for 20. Anyway, so that's what's going on with that statement. But even more exciting, oh my God, Elon Musk came back at 6 o'clock this morning and said, I'm going to buy all the company. I want to go private. That is unbelievable. Let me just answer the good doctor. There was an emergency room. It's hard to believe, but I have a friend who's a doctor a couple apartments away from me. He has a beautiful Tesla Model S. And I'm going to open up this bag underneath there if I can do it. And I just rotate this bag so you can see me. At least you can see some of me. All right. So the plan is, and the good doctor just answered me. He basically said, "Hey Jim, all's good." So I said, "Yeah, whoops." I mean, you can read this thing. So I told, like, we share an outlet to plug in our cars. You know, the good doctor and the building manager decided, all right, we're going to building manager and Dr. Brian are going to agree to run 226 kilowatt power into this outlet. But the doctor, it's going to cost $2,000 because Ann got a bid from an electrician. So he said, okay. And they put the power in, they put the outlet in. And so I saw the cord going into something. So I, I drive a Tesla electric car. So I looked at it and said, oh my God, look at what he's got. He's got an outlet. So I go down to Ann. I said, so Ann, who's this car belong to? She said, well, we're not allowed to, he lives in 815. He's your neighbor. I said, well, isn't that nice? Let me give him a... So I had no information on him, don't have his phone number, don't have his cell phone number, don't have his email address. I just know that he's in an apartment 2 doors down. So I write him a nice letter, and I have my Tesla car up here in the top of the letter, almost like letterhead. Dear Dr. I have a Tesla, and I'm going to get, actually, this is a month before. Oh, shit. I didn't even have my, what do you call it? I didn't have the car yet. This is in May. So I write the letter in May, and I said, I need to, is there any way we can share this outlet? Because, you only plug in twice a week. 7 days, there's 5 days left over. He said, okay. This was after, it took a month. So he takes my letter down to the building manager and says, this is going to be okay with me. So just as long as he doesn't, block me. Yeah. So, finally I get word from the good doctor that it's going to be okay. So I have his cell number now, and I have his email address. So I said, good morning. If you don't mind, I'm parked in your spot. Because he's practicing, he heads up, an emergency, he was an emergency room director for 15 years in a major hospital. Oops, so he's created this consortium of doctors, including himself, where people can call him, they'll have this, they'll pay an annual fee to be able to get to him. And so he runs the whole shooting match. So if you don't mind, I'm parked in your spot. So I'm parked in your spot, so I may charge. The spot to the left of yours is occupied, which is normally where I go to plug in, because it's on a column between these two spots. May I ask when you plan on arriving back to Plaza Real South, so I can be sure to move my car before you arrive? Thank you. So he answers me, said, hey, all's good, no problem. Just I'm going to come home about 5:30. So I type back, perfect. Yeah, you can see it on the thing. So that's all about it. So I'm actually plugged in, and I can show you. Let's see, can I show you on this? Does this work? Nope, that's the wrong Tesla. How about this one? Yes. There you go. Perfect. So you can't expand this or anything. This is what it is. So you can see it. So it's charging at 32 amps. You can see it on there. Let's see. That's big me. I don't want that one. I don't want that one. All right, there you go. That's as big as it goes. So it's charging at 32 amps. You can look at the statistics here below. It's right now, it's added 17 kilowatts to my battery. It's running at 32 amps and 198 volts. So even though it's 230 going in there, it can control, the car can control the voltage that's coming in the wire. And we're going to set it at like 198, and it's 6 kilowatts. That's the amount of energy that's going into my car. And see here, now when I pulled in there, right now, you can't see me pointing. Up in the top, it says in green, it says 154 miles. Now, when I plugged in there, it was, like 50 miles. So it's added 100 miles. It says it's 5 hours and 25 minutes remaining. The good doctor says he's going to be home at 5:30, so I'm out of there at 5. And right now it's 1:30 or 1:20, yeah. So that's the situation. This is actually getting information directly from the car, because it's all connected with the internet, and I have an account with Tesla, so I can see this. I can see it on my phone also. Anyway, so instead of worrying about that left parking spot, I park in the good doctor's. So it may take me 2 days to fill up. That's all right. So when I get done taking, Brennan to work, I'll go back in there and park in his spot tomorrow and get another 150 miles. So that'll fill me up. And then all's good. I haven't bothered anybody. I always tell the good doctor that I'm in a spot so he doesn't get surprised. And if he's coming at home at 5:30, then I want to make sure I'm out of there at 5. There you go. So that's the news there. Let's go here. Let's see how Twitter stock is doing. I think I have Twitter in my little portfolio. Tesla, Amazon. Get a quote. TWITT. Twittering, there it is. Do I not have Twitter? There it is. It's at 46.77 a share, trading 175 million shares. Ooh, it's trading pretty hot. Now he just made an offer for $54 and 20 cents, or whatever. So it's now up to 46. So 149.9, not 180 million. Just went to 180 million shares. Traded today. A little more than half a day. It's up 95 cents from yesterday. Up 2%. There's the 5-day trading. You can see that chart. I can make that chart bigger. Let's do 1 month trading. Bam. See how it jumped here? From 40 to 46. Happened on April 4th when he first bought his first 75 million shares. Let's go back to 5 days. So these jolts right here is like Thursday, because he just filed with the SEC that now he's going to take control. So the board is meeting right now. I mean, literally, right today anyway, for sure. Yeah, and since it's 1:30, so it's 10:30 in California. They could have assembled. So they're either going to assemble in a half hour, or they've already assembled a half hour ago. Hard to tell. But you can see what's going on with the stock price. And the stock, 3 months ago, it was at $32 a share. Look where it's up now. You can see it. That's a 3-month chart. And if you look to the left, it says hovering around 32, something like that. The red means the stock is going down that day. The green means it went up that day. Well, 32 to 46, it actually jumped over 50. Went to 54. Well, 54 is the price that Elon offered. So it actually traded up that high. Or about the time after the Reg D was filed. The Reg D is a disclosure that Elon Musk has to make. So he told the world that his intentions are to offer every shareholder $54 a share, and then I'm gonna have all the shares. Bye bye. That's his plan. Hey, there we go. No. Just think of what can happen. He owns 75 million shares, 9.2%. 9.2%. So instead of going up to 24 and then all this stuff, he just, bam. He filed a Reg D statement this morning saying, I'm going to buy all of it. So all you guys that are now sitting on the board, you're going to be gone, probably. All you people that own stock, you're going to be gone, because I'm going to have all those shares in my back pocket, because I'm going to pay $54 for them. Now, when you're trading a couple months ago, $20 a share lower, and the stock was creeping up because of, background chatter, while Elon's lawyers are typing up the forms. That's the problem, people can't keep their mouth shut. If you whisper, you go to jail. So you better whisper to somebody that's not going to tell. Tell that to Martha Stewart, right? They put her in jail for receiving a whisper and acting on it and buying stock in something. It's called insider trading. You go to jail. So you can't do that. Well, so he's got this company by the toes, because just think about it. If they say no, I don't need this. If they say no, then Elon Musk comes back and says, well, maybe I'll divest. So if you say no, then maybe I'm going to sell. Maybe. See, maybe. Not absolutely. Maybe I'm going to sell 75 million shares. So then he files a Reg D statement. Well, if they don't accept my offer, I might sell. Now, it's going to be all in legalese, according to the SEC requirements. But he's going to be talking through the Reg D filings. He's probably not going to be meeting with the board anytime soon. So he'll file another Reg D saying, I might sell. I mean, you could do this today, anytime. You file another 10D, called a D filing. D, like dog. So he'll file a Form D saying, you know what, I got 75 million shares, maybe I'm going to sell that. Because if they don't want me to buy all of it, maybe I don't want 9.2%. So I'll start selling it. Well, that stock price on this chart is going to go, it's going to go down here like $20 a share. Because that's, a lot of shareholders, and this stock price is controlled by trading volume that might represent 4 or 5% of the outstanding shares. Everybody's not trading their stock. So 5 or 10% of the people that have shares are making up this volume, which is huge right now. It's like 180 million shares, 186 million shares traded. Can you imagine? No, the average, trading volume of this thing was like, 10% of that. Went as high as 48, low 45 today. But if he said, I think I'm going to sell my stock, that share price is going to go down to a very sort of low number. So the board has to be pretty, they're thinking about all this stuff. Yeah, that's the board members I used to be, not that my size is, our bank holding company was, as big as this. a little beetle bug, And, Twitter is, trading 150 million shares. But I'm familiar with all those Reg D filings because we had to follow the same rules as all the big boys had to follow. So, and I own 17% of the stock, which for a person is almost unheard of. I mean, the senior bank regulators, with the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta, they want to, who's Jim Wilson? Who's this guy, is filing these forms? I want to meet him. So we went to Atlanta, and the head dogs were in the conference room with Marion Rivers, who was our guy, who's since retired. Probably everybody I know in there is retired, but there's all kinds of people in the Federal Reserve that step into the seats as people retire. But anyway. So everybody wanted to know who JimmY was because I was saying all the things and filing the Reg Ds, filing the Federal Reserve notices and all that kind of stuff. I was CEO. Phil was chairman of the board. Phil Motter, my partner. He was a wonderful man. Nicest man I've met, along with my father-in-law, Mr. Murray. John Murray. Well, Phil Motter they both were the nicest people I've ever met. Anyway, so I used to, so the Fed wanted to know who I was because I was the guy that's signing off on the forms. Oh my God. And he owns 17% of the stock? How did that happen? I explained it. Phil owned the other 17%. Added together, it's 35%. We own 35% of the bank. Not more than 50. But 35. What it was. Usually two bank directors don't own 35% of the stock. 17% each. They might own 2%. 17 is a big number. Anyway. That's the way the deal worked out. With the other investors. And they were fine with it. They figured, fine, we own 65, you own 35, So we basically can control you. So that's what they were worried about. No worry, we offered it, so they had control. But, Phil and I still had a big piece. Relatively speaking. All right, so 5 days, this is what's going on. Wednesday at 11, 12, 1 and up. He was trading it to $45 a share. When the Reg D was filed at 6 a.m., boom, this thing jumped to 20%, 10%. 189 million shares traded. So everybody's, doing this. What's the Elon going to do? What is the board going to do? Right now, the board's got. Are they going to allow the sale to go through at $54 a share? If the board says no, and some of those guys are shareholders too. The shareholders are going. If they say no, the shareholders are going to be screaming. Why'd you say no? The stock was trading at $35 a share. It's now $54. And Elon's he's worth $275 million. He can find the cash. And he'll own Twitter. Fine, let him have it. I've had enough of this anyway. Dorsey left a month ago. How about that? The originator, the actual guy that created Twitter, man, he blew out 2 months ago. He was on the board, he was all involved. He said, you know what, I've had enough of this. He kept his shares, but he got out of there. He got off the board, and he's out on his balcony overlooking the Pacific Ocean. And now these guys got to deal with this. So what are they going to do? If they say no, then Elon is going to file another 10D saying, well, you know, they don't want to sell me this stuff. Then I might sell my 75 million shares and get it out of here. Because if I can't own it, I'm going to go do something else. And that's where we are right now. They have to answer. And there's no news on them answering. Not that I know of. Although, the stock is now around 45, 46. Was as high as 48. You see where it was up here? Let's just do one day. This is pre-market, part in the gray area. Market opens, you know, 9:30. See, 9, 10, 9:30. All right, so at 9:30, yes, see, I can just put my finger right here. So it's trading at $46 a share. There we go, right there. So at about 10 a.m., it's up to 48. Then we go down here to, it's like the rumors go. All right, so where are we here? Yeah, right there. Let's stop right there. So by 11:45, 11:52 a.m. is a spot right here. This computers are perfect. This is a MacBook Pro. Such power. There it is. It went. Current value is 45.2. $44.22. This little, and there was 749,000 shares traded this moment. Now, we're trading up in that 46.75 range. I'd like to know what happened at 1:25 p.m. I don't think it was JimmY on this. Although a lot of them could take JimmY advice. And it's not too bad. Take the deal. You've had Twitter a while. You're not going to do it by yourself. Because no one wants to use your service because you censor people. And why should people spend time on your platform if you're going to erase what they say? So something happened at 1:25 p.m. I don't know if the board voted. So if they vote, no way, we don't want to sell, then Elon may come back and say, well, maybe I don't want to keep my 9%. No, he has 75 million shares. No, the trading volume is 192 million. 993 million. What's that? Amazing. I'm eating popcorn, sorry. That's my lunch. I can talk. My mother wouldn't be happy, but come on, Mom, give me a break. I don't have training pants on anymore. I'm supposed to be a big boy. I just had my 77th birthday. Can you believe it? 77? I'm telling you. I made you do the math. Now I'm just saying it. 77? I call myself 103, but actually it's 77. All right, no more popcorn for now. I'll just put that up there. Sorry, folks. Oh my God. So, I wonder if the board has to come out with a statement. Let's see, how would I read that? News. Okay, so Musk says eliminating spam bots would be a top priority at Twitter, if I have anything to say about it. So that statement from Musk came out at 1:39 p.m. Now, you know, that wouldn't make the stock go down. So these are the news items. What happened at 1:30?
VRENNEN or VRENNEN?
Oh, I gotta. I'm going to tell him to text me. That's number 3, son. TEXT. God. TEXT. There we go. So he'll send me a text so I don't get interrupted with you important people. All right, so we're going down to the time here, 1:25. So now we want to go back to news. I mean, this is what you do. So at 1:25, see, there's no real news. 1:26. Mark Cuban. Okay, now he's got to put his 2 cents worth in there. So Mark Cuban, Donald Trump, David Portnoy react to Elon Musk's Twitter bid. All right, what do they say? I mean, Mark Cuban's a big boy, but you know, I don't know. Donald Trump's a real big boy. You know, $5 billion, maybe twice that. You know, $5 billion in cost is probably worth 10 or 15 billion. What happened? Elon Musk, Tesla CEO, SpaceX announces intentions to buy out Twitter. $54.20 a share. I invested in Twitter. I believe the potential, so this is a statement. So he's telling all these big investors, this guy's a big boy. And he's supposedly a smart guy. I believe it. Now, look, Donald Trump is a smart guy. He's probably just as smart as Elon Musk. So when Donald Trump wants to do something, he calls his two sons, and his daughter, and others, and they all sit in a room, or maybe they're on the conference phone or a phone call, and they say, okay, I want to do X. So let's assemble a team so we can do X, whatever it is. Well, Elon Musk is the same way. He's probably already met with his people at SpaceX and Tesla. Let's assemble a team of 25 of our best software engineers. Because when we get the keys to the castle, you guys are going to run in there and change the code. Now they're probably already figured out what the raw code is. So, because you got to have the people that are experienced in doing the coding with the software, that's in the servers. So I guarantee you that team's already assembled. They've already advised Trump, hey, look, in 48 hours, we'll have that sucker totally free speech. Won't take that long. We may shut it down for 6 hours just to let everybody know we're tinkering. And you guys, and we'll have it all done. Donald, don't worry about it. Or Elon. So this guy, who's that guy? One of these guys says, I think Twitter will do everything possible not to sell the company. That's what they're saying. Well, the stock is going to grow through. Oh my God. Whatever happens, Elon Musk is going to make a fortune. Oh my God. He spent $2 million to buy 75 million shares. And by the end of the day, it was worth $3 billion. So he made $1 billion. He made a 50% gain. Can you imagine? 50% gain on his investment in one day. 50%. You put money in a bank, you get 0.00023, whatever, for the whole year. Something on the other side of that. He made 50%, boom, in one day. Jesus. He had $2 billion in cash one day, and all of a sudden he has $3 billion in stock. Holy mackerel. That's unbelievable. So now the stock has run the value up to $46 a share, right? Okay. And the thought that he may pay $54 a share, so it's at 45. So it's $10 a share under what he made an offer at. Now, if the investment community really thought a sale was going to happen, the stock, in my opinion, which I don't know what I'm talking about, instead of 40, it edged up to 48, or 49, $4 or $5 below what it's actually going to happen, 10% below. But it's, it's hanging in there like 45, 46, 47. So the whole investment community is not convinced that this deal will happen. That Trump, Elon Musk offered. So a lot of people are saying, And a lot of people are saying that if they refuse 54 hours, then Elon Musk can threaten to get rid of his 75 million shares, which will put the stock into a real spin. And then he may buy more shares. In other words, he may go up to 14.9 level. So everyone's got Plan A. You know, the Fox News now is saying they got a plan. I don't know if you can't really see my cell phone. It's here. Whoop, there it is. They got a lot of little technology things hanging around here. We'll just leave it right here at the edge of the screen. All right, what's going on? Stop shaking. Elon Musk talks Twitter at the technology There's a technology symposium going on with all the guys that are CEOs or something of some major companies. And so he's made mention of the fact. See, here's TED 2022. It's in Vancouver, British Columbia. So this is a real big meeting. So he's at this conference. He's he's the talk of the town, man. When you want to buy a $50 billion company, and I'll say I'm going to buy that. You're talking about some big chips on the Monopoly table. Remember, we all used to play Monopoly? Oh my God. We'd play it till all hours of the night. So when you're in an environment like this, you can make comments that normally people wouldn't even notice. But at this, there we go, add to photos. Whoops. I wonder if it happens. Let's see. 1, 2. Recent. Didn't happen. Okay. Elon talks Twitter in TED interview after offering to buy the whole platform. That's marvelous. Let's try that again. So I did a print name. I think I'll leave the caption on too. Alright, let's do that. That's good. Save the photos. Alright, it happened. Elon Musk talks Twitter at TED. British Columbia. Yep, that kills it. Don't know how to do that. All right, that's okay. Anyway, so that's what happened. Whoops. Ooh. That's what's going on at 1:30. What time is it now? Time now is just about 2. All right. Dr. Brian said, "You're good." Hi, Jim. All good. 5:30. I mean, he's like a an important medical guy is like ripping somebody open or putting someone back together. And he's on his text over here. You know, he got his phone. The nurses are screaming at him. It's not so funny. You know, it happens. Okay, I've done surgeries, and yeah, by and large, they're really intense scientists. These doctors, it's no joke. They are very, very serious. So I don't want to say anything more to him. What I want to do, meaning I don't need to say anything more to my the guy I share the plug with. All right, we got that thing going. I need to go to my alarm clock and have this ring off the hook. Come on, baby, hit this right here, clock. No, you can't see it. Clock. And let's see, 4:55. I got both those alarms on. Oops. See the green? I don't know if you can see the green. These lights are so bright. Turn these lights down. Alarms. Between 5 and 4:55. The little switch is pushed over. And I guess the only way I can get this so you can see it is I've got to turn the brightness down because this screen is so bright. I mean, it's not so bright for me, but it's too bright for the camera. 4:55. Anyway, so now I don't have to worry about remembering. And I have my watch, which is now fully charged. You can see that one, right? So let me put that on my wrist. So now the watch and the phone interconnect with low-level Bluetooth and low-level other things. So we can, yeah. So that's, you go underneath here, and I can see my battery health. Whoop! I don't want to check that. Put it in airplane mode, whatever. Whoop. So now I want to, let's see, it's 2 o'clock. Well, I'm going to set this alarm for 3 hours. Now I know I got the other thing, but this goes to 2 hours. All right, so I need a custom thing. And this is going to go 3 hours. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 hours. 3 hours and 5 minutes. I'll put it like at 5:02. All right, there we go. Bingo. Let's do that. So now I got 3 hours and 4 minutes and so much. Alarm going off. Now I can like just push it back in clock mode, but behind the scenes, I got a 3 hour time clock on there. So I'm going to get another 75 miles added to, so let's see how many miles I got on the car now. There we go. Yeah, nice, I can touch that. So now it's got 171 miles, 3 hours is another 75 miles. So I'm going to be at 250 miles of range by 5 o'clock. Yep, that's what's going to happen. So that's what I want. That's good. Thank you, doctor. So now I know I can do that. I'll do the same thing tomorrow. Get it up for the weekend. I'll have it at the very top. So I don't have to worry about miles, traffic, availability. Yeah, it's just a 300, the biggest amount of mileage range that I could get on that vehicle was 326 miles. That's what the EPA thing is. But you never get that. When you buy a car, it says you're going to get 25 miles to the gallon. You know that's baloney. You're only going to get 21. Because you're going to run the air conditioner, you're going to run the headlights, you're going to have the radio on, all this stuff. So they turn all that stuff off because they don't know how much energy it's going to draw. Gasoline, car, the same. So they try to run everything, so not everything is on. So that way it looks like more of the average that's going to happen in the population. But, it's... God, my hands are... I have a condition called peripheral neuropathy. In other words, my nerves. God. My nerves in my hand. It feels almost tingly, like I was out in the snow. I used to love it. It's like I put my hand in the freezer too long. Let's do it that way. Sorry, I just banged the microphone. So if I wear these gloves, not only are my hands feel a little cold, they are a little cold, but the neuropathy makes it doubly worse. So I wear the gloves. And some people think I'm nuts. I'm like the Invisible Man. I'm dressed in black. Black everything. I got black under my pants, actually. Over here, I got a little Pepsi over here. Let me have a sip of this. Very nice. Anyway, so let's get this one. There we go. All right, I've been on the air for an hour. There we go. Let me get that unfinished. There we go. Whoops. So we talked Tesla today. Excuse me, Twitter. T words. So any more news coming out of here? Let's back out of this. And then go back to Twitter. All right, so the news is only going to 2:02 p.m. So there isn't any more news up to 2:02 p.m. They're talking if the deal goes through. This is so now you're going to watch the board of Twitter. You may have some people that they enjoy and they may jump off the board. I don't know how many people are on the board. Whether it's 13 or 15 or a lot of these big companies, they have larger boards because someone buys, I'm going to say $10 million worth of your stock, and you're a friend, a lawyer friend or whatever, then, because remember, to buy $10 million in stock, you had to earn $15 million to have 10, right? Because of Uncle Sam. So 10 million is a big number. So that guy might get a board seat if he knows a lot of people and the other board members know him and they like him. And then, you put the word around. This is something that I might do as former CEO of Bank Holding Company. I might talk it up with a few other directors and say, what do you think about that? We put Larry on the board. You remember Larry? He was whatever. Elon Musk says, I have enough assets to complete this acquisition. And whether he actually goes private or not is really kind of irrelevant. That's what he's saying, and that's what he may, but he may, not do that. He doesn't say absolutely. So you got to be a little flexible with this. So I'm looking at all the news. So that's the last one. Anyway, so, all right, so that's our afternoon session here. For sure, I'm going to come back in tomorrow morning. And then we can trade secrets. I really think so. Have a great day. Goodbye. I still got this thing on, so I can still talk. But this is the Mr. Guy that it covers everything. So if you want to tell a secret, this is the way to tell a secret. You get this big boy. You see how big this guy is? Telescopic. It is really very sensitive. So you talk with your tongue and your lips. And we'll trade secrets tomorrow without Twitter.